Let's have it right straight away. We are in trouble. The country is in trouble. There's no two ways about it. Me personally, what I want to see is a well-financed body, a well-financed party, a well-financed movement that can very firmly, very directly do what has to be done, go to anything, law or otherwise, that tries to get in the way of it, and put this country back the way it used to be. Now, I am personally a paid-up member of a couple of parties who I believe have, an ounce of a chance of doing this. Now, Restore Britain, as they are, have come out and announced themselves, or Rupert Lowe has announced it, as a proper political party. Now, one very important thing in this picture, which is the start of the video that we're going to go through together, there is an England flag. That is very, very symbolic. That is how Great Yarmouth sees itself, an English seaside town. And when you look at other political parties that always harp on about the sovereign United Kingdom, there's nothing sovereign at all about the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a statutory political union. What I'm interested in is Great Britain, the British Isles, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and their restoration, the restoration of the Britain we used to know. Let's have a listen to this, see where it goes.
I think the state has become the enemy of the people. It's basically supposed to be serving us, but it's become omnipotent. It's become far too big.
And in terms of this country, a lot of people say that it is a very corrupt country. Back in the day, we used to prosecute people for corruption and for their complicity. Do you want to see mass prosecutions of people who have been corrupt in government and hurt a lot of people?
I do. I think you're quite right. I think our judiciary has gone off the rails as a result of what Tony Blair did. I think the legal profession is making far too much money on the back of productive Britain. I think the state has become the enemy of the people. It's basically supposed to be serving us, but it's become omnipotent. It's become far too big. It accounts for 50+% of GDP, whatever it is, directly or indirectly. I don't think we know the true figure, but it's huge. And as we know from Soviet Russia, ultimately, sort of collectivist societies fail.
He just made a very interesting and very important comparison that you understand there. As we see from centrist Soviet Russia, these collective centrist governments fail eventually. Now, if you have a look at Scotland, if you have a look at Wales, if you have a look at England, you have a look at Northern Ireland, you have a look at the relationship between them all. You look at the regionalization that's happening amongst them all, and you look at how we're all governed. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Parliament's my arse. They are regional assemblies there to control an EU-created region. They are trying to regionalise England, carve that up into 9 different regions. So across the whole British Isles, you end up with 12 regions, all centrally controlled. You look at the USSR, for example, centrally controlled from Russia, communist. And look what happened there. You go into Poland and ask them if they're Polish or Soviet. They'd probably clock you on. I couldn't blame them. This is where it's all gone very wrong in this country. He talks about the judiciary. He talks about power. Very, very important things. A lot of things changed when Blair came to power in the 90s. A lot of things are responsible for a whole bunch of bad law in the years leading up to that. They talk about repealing laws. They shouldn't be repealed at all. They should be void, made void, as if they never existed. And then all other bad laws that were created as a result would all be gone as well. Bad laws make bad things happen. Look what's happening to us as a people. Some very, very root and branch changes need to happen around here. And somebody, Rupert Lowe, has to have the bollocks to be able to do it and say, you know what, to the state and anybody else that complains, take that, because I've had enough. We are seeing the starts of this here very much. And as for Parliament, I don't know if anybody is aware, but the Commons Parliament was supposed to be for the people. It belongs to the people. And if you have a look at the way we are governed, the way we are managed now, it's from the top down. It should be from the bottom up, from the people up. We elect them to represent us. Anybody that's complicit in corruption, anybody that's complicit in any wrongdoing going on, anyone that's complicit in anything of that nature which has brought the state into disrepute should end up in prison. No two ways about it. The British have a lot to answer for.
They don't survive. So what we've got to do is return power to the individual. If you look at the American Constitution, it always returns power to the individual states and to the individual person, and it takes it away from the federal government. That was the brilliance of the American Constitution. And let's face it, they broke away from Britain. They were our colony, and they were very high-minded, decent people. I mean, if you look at Thomas Jefferson, Madison, Adams, Hamilton, all these people, they were brilliant, and they were very good people. And we need to look at the American Constitution. It was undermined by Roosevelt, who basically amended the 9th and 10th Amendment in the 30s when they had the economic downturn, which undermined some of the structure of the American Constitution. As a result, the federal government has grown like a weed. But
let's talk about the American Constitution, shall we? Some of the original settlers were English. You hear Americans often describe themselves as Italian American, Irish American, Scottish American. So there's immigrants come from all over the world and settle in America. A lot of cops say, relate to Irish. That's the way of things. But if you look at the American Constitution, some of the original settlers in Jamestown and other colonies that went and settled in America took the English Constitution with them, not British, English. And that is what the American Constitution, the starts of it, was based upon. So when you say we need to look at the American Constitution, what you really are intimating at is that we need to take a hard look at the way things used to be here in England. See that flag right in the back there? And we need to think about where we came from, and we need to think about how we need to get back there to put this country back on an even footing. If you look at the states in America, all the individual states who are responsible for their own governance, albeit you have the federal government overlaying and sticking their oar in, but if you look at that setup, that was the counties and shires of England. That's how that used to work. So we have a lot more in common with America than you really believe. Look into it. Look into it.
So what we've got to do is, we've got a great country. We have I think we've got the best people in the world. We're losing a lot of them, they're leaving. And a lot of the young people say to me, why is it that you reward indolence and you punish enterprise? And it doesn't appear to us that people who work hard and actually contribute and pay tax, they're being penalized, and welfare is being given to people who do nothing, and in fact less than nothing. And I think we've got a whole culture of people who are pork barreling a ridiculous living on the back of the productive people. So a lot of them have said, I'm not going to build my career here. I am going to leave, and they are leaving. So we don't want to lose those people. They are the future.
We don't want to lose those people. They are the future. No, we don't. And if you look at what's happening with this socialist nightmare government that we currently have, That's exactly what's happening. People are going to leave. I mean, I looked up Japan last night, just as a matter of interest, about what's going on over there, a hardline approach. And if you look at how safe it is, how clean it is, how respectful everybody is. A friend of mine even went to Florida for a 2-week holiday. He said again, so different. What has become this country? What has become us as a people? Where have we gone wrong? What do we do to put it right again? You tell me. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.